The rental crisis in Canada is affecting millions of people who struggle to find and keep affordable and decent housing. But some tenants are not giving up. They are fighting back against the rental crisis in various ways, such as organizing rent strikes, forming tenant unions, advocating for policy changes, and creating alternative housing models. Rent strikes are a form of collective action where tenants withhold their rent payments to pressure their landlords to address their concerns or demands. For example, some tenants in Toronto have been on a rent strike since January 2023 to protest against above-guideline rent increases that they say are unjustified and unaffordable. They have also been demanding better maintenance and repairs in their building. Tenant unions are another way that renters can organize and support each other to improve their living conditions and rights. Tenant unions are groups of tenants who join together to negotiate with their landlords, lobby the government, educate the public, and take legal action if needed. For example, the Vancouver Tenants Union has been active since 2017 and has over 2,000 members who work on various campaigns and initiatives to protect and expand affordable housing in the city. Advocating for policy changes is another strategy that tenants and housing activists use to fight back against the rental crisis. They call on the federal, provincial, and municipal governments to implement measures that would increase the supply and accessibility of affordable housing, regulate the rental market, and prevent evictions and homelessness. For example, the Canadian Centre for Housing Rights, CCHR, is a national organization that promotes the right to adequate housing for all Canadians and urges the government to adopt a human rights-based approach to housing policy. Creating alternative housing models is another way that some tenants are fighting back against the rental crisis. They are exploring different forms of housing that are more affordable, sustainable, and community-oriented than the conventional market-based model. For example, Kindred Works is a new company that is reimagining rental housing to address the climate and housing crisis. It aims to build climate-positive rental homes that are powered by renewable energy, designed for low-carbon living, and owned by a cooperative of tenants. These are some of the actions and initiatives that tenants are taking to fight back against the rental crisis in Canada. They show that renters are not passive victims of the housing system, but active agents of change who are challenging the status quo and creating new possibilities for themselves and others.